and we'll talk about testing on the Genius. We'll need a volunteer for that. So if you'd like to volunteer, put your date of birth. We'd also love your questions about any aspect of the Genius, and I'm happy to answer your questions. We're also live on YouTube, so if you want to jump off of the Zoom and jump on to YouTube, we'll be live streaming there. So thank you so much for being part of our Genius community. And I so greatly appreciate you joining our Genius weekly hour. Spread the word. There's still a lot of people who don't know that we're meeting on Tuesdays. So spread the word, let people know that this training is available. Our goal really is to help you to understand your Genius and to help you to shine with using it. Again, there are many types of technologies out there that do some type of scanning or analysis, but we really have not seen these other types of technologies have the kind of ongoing training that we have. So take advantage of it, come to training on a regular basis, because we do mention new things that we're working on. We do mention new techniques, new ways of using the Genius. And it also, every time you come and hear the basics of the Genius, just like learning anything, you always develop new skills. You always hear something that you never heard before, and that can really help you in your practice or your work personally. So please bring your questions. No question is too basic. No question is too complex. I will do my very best to answer your question, and we can answer it from a health perspective. I'm also a naturopath. So actually I have clinical training as a naturopath, and I can answer it from that perspective, or we can answer it from a Genius perspective, from an energy medicine perspective. So your questions are important, and we're more than happy to answer them. So we're going to get started here. Okay, so any questions about the study, you can send them to research@geniusbiofeedback.com. So we just didn't answer them yesterday, but please do send them anyway. So Jerry, thank you. Just go ahead and send your questions to research@geniusbiofeedback.com about the research project. We're just trying to keep all those things separate, and hopefully we'll respond to you, and we will respond to you as soon as possible. Okay, greetings from Nevada. I love it. I'm glad to hear things are going good in Nevada. So Justina, I know you talked to me about the dentistry issue. So what we need you to do is make sure your microphone and your camera are working currently, and we'll definitely endeavor to get you up here and work on you. So just check your microphone settings and check your camera settings. So Justina wrote to me yesterday. So if you know someone who wants a scan, like somebody who's interested in the Genius, shoot me a message before class on Tuesday and let me know this is someone that we could work with, we could focus on, or send me your questions that come up during your week so that we could answer them in class. There's so many things that people think of in the moment, and then they come to class and they don't ask the question. We might get a customer service request. So come and ask your questions about the Genius. This is a great opportunity for you to get your questions answered. And we really appreciate you attending class and being part of our Genius community. All right, so we're going to be getting ready to do that now. Okay, how do we make a playlist from a library to upload to multiple members? How do we make a playlist from a library to upload to multiple members? That's actually not really something that the Genius is capable of doing. You could make a custom playlist from the main part of the program, but you really can't, as far as I know, create a playlist like that to upload to multiple members. What you basically can do is put things into your Progressive Insights or your main hold tray, and then you could export it in bulk to everybody on your list. I'm not sure, Liz, if I'm answering your question, so maybe change the question a little bit so I could answer it, but hopefully that gives you some clarification. When people ask you what the Genius is, you can let them know it's a tool for quantum biofeedback. It's a scanning tool. Okay, so it's a quantum biofeedback tool that helps you learn more about yourself and the world around you. In some ways, it's like a sophisticated muscle test. You can ask people, do you know what muscle testing is? Well, yes, I do. Well, if you know what muscle testing is, then you will be aware for muscle testing that this is a similar, energetic truth teller. Your muscle testing is always like, well, let me muscle test for it. Well, what if you could do a muscle test, 100 muscle tests at one time, or 1,000 muscle tests at one time that was more objective? People would really like that. So this is similar to muscle testing from that perspective. So you could do that every day for vitamins, minerals, to see what your weak point is, to see what your emotional block is, to see what your affirmation is for the day. It's very exciting. I think part of the nature of a human being is self-discovery, and the idea of quantum biofeedback and scanning with the genius just fits right in there with what we really want to do. But these types of technologies had very closely held algorithms, very closely held coding, and it was hard to get out of that bubble because everybody wanted to save that technology for themselves. Well, back around 2010, 2011, Ryan Williams had this idea. What if we could take this and give it to many, many more people, and we could shrink down the price point from $20,000 to, our biggest package is $8,000, but we have packages that are $1,000. So many, many more people were able to come down, sit at the table, and really enjoy this technology. And I think this technology should be in everybody's home, because everybody wants to be able to, gosh, what's going on in the skies around me? What's going on in my body? What's going on in my family? What is the issue? And then it not only tests for the issue, but, press one button and it's going to harmonize whatever the problem is that it has discovered. What could be more perfect? You discover an issue, you nail it, you're like, oh, now I know what it is. And you can press this button and begin to play the very harmonizing frequencies that you need in order to solve the issue. I just love the incredible practicality of the genius. So everything in your body has a frequency. It's just an incredible symphony of frequencies. If we could only maybe visualize all the different frequencies, because your liver has the frequency, your pancreas has a frequency, your DNA has a frequency, your mitochondria has a frequency, and they're all looking for their optimal or home frequency. Now, something that helps them to go instantly into their home frequency is really the ways that you align yourself with nature. Nature is a self-organizing system, and that means it can completely heal itself. It can completely restore itself. It can completely regenerate itself. So guess what? You are of nature. So your whole body, your whole being is a self-organizing system. But we must remove what are called obstacles to cure. So obstacles to cure would be like smoking, drinking, and eating foods I consider to be food poison. And you guys know what some of those foods are. And we really do see that just by eliminating the foods that are poison to the body, that really the body was never meant to consume, health can be restored in a very short amount of time. I'm sure you've all experienced that. So also just giving yourself a break, right? Going on vacation, going out in nature, taking a walk in the forest, all those things help you to realign with nature. And interestingly enough, nature itself has all of these frequencies, which are frequencies of perfection. And some of the genius is trying to emulate that. That's why you're feeling good as you're listening to these frequencies. But listening to birds chirping and crickets and all the noises, the ocean, the wind, everything you hear when you're out exploring nature, that's all in a frequency of perfection. And as you're around these frequencies, you're equilibrating yourself or aligning yourself with that perfection. And the genius is meant to also be a tool to help you to align. And that is why after playing some frequencies, you often feel, oh, I feel like I took an energetic shower. Like I just, cleaned myself up, this energetic sort of hygiene. And so you feel better. So in today's world, we really we so desperately need a tool like this, right? This is an incredible self-empowerment tool. So, even the bones have frequency. They have a piezoelectric current. And so all of these things can be affected by different currencies. Well, you can also do that for the teeth, and that's the topic of today. And we haven't talked about it in a while. We do have a course on this on the website called Biological Dentistry. We went through several different sessions teaching you all about the teeth. So this is some of the highlights. And you can get that at geniusbiofeedback.com. Just put in the word biological dentistry and you can see that course on the website. So if you can send frequencies to anywhere in the body, how about the teeth? Yes, you can. So even the teeth have a certain energy, and the teeth are partially bone, so they have that piezoelectric current as well. Now you can send frequencies to each individual tooth. You could also do a complete muscle test of all the teeth and see which ones come up the weakest, and that could let you know maybe there is an issue there. Now, if you know there is an issue there, then you want to send energy to that particular area. So you want to send a frequency to the actual tooth. And then who knows, by harmonizing the tooth. So this is one of the things that can kind of stretch your imagination about frequency, is that every condition in the body, when you're sick, is a deviation away from your optimal frequency. So think about that for a moment. So what do we need to do to fix it? We need to restore the optimal frequency. How do we restore the optimal frequency? So if we play the optimal frequency from the genius and the body listens to that, it can equilibrate itself with that. It can align itself with that frequency. So that is the ultimate goal. And so you get to muscle test, you get to energetically test all your teeth. Now, it doesn't mean when you see your tooth light up, it's a red or a blue, you have to run to your dentist. I mean, you should be going to your dentist, right? Regular basis, get your cleanings, get whatever checkup that you need. You're doing that anyway. But it could just be an energetic imbalance. And if you restore the frequency, it's possible that you could restore the health of the tooth. So that's what we're going for. But everything has to be grounded in reality, okay? We can't get so, far afield. It has to be a combination of lifestyle, food. Okay, we're going to be having some courses coming up, a new wave of courses, which I think you're going to love coming up. You guys, it's really a big predictor of how healthy you're going to be is in your food. It's in your food patterns. I'm going to talk about all the science behind this and all the studies that we have, but it's going to be that food piece is going to be a big piece of the puzzle. Okay. Then, of course, it's going to be things like attitude, emotions, how, you're living your life. All of those are important as well. The thoughts that you're thinking, those are inevitably important. Do you feel on track in your life? Do you feel peace in your life? Those are all important as well. Okay. But it's also, you can get a lot of traction with frequency. Now, part of it is you're raising your level of awareness. Oh, I didn't know that these teeth were imbalanced. Now I know. Now I can take extra time to put these particular teeth in my rotation of things that I'm balancing. And that's what's important. Even when you see something on the genius for yourself. So first, let's take you. You see something on the genius that's red or blue. Did you know that before you even press a button to begin balancing, that your mind is already, your whole healing capacity is moving into action to heal yourself? So just by raising your level of awareness, you go, that tooth is out of balance. So you instantly, your whole being is rushing in to try to create balance. So you already have that just from knowing. Now, if you don't know, you can't send the energy there. If you know, you can send the energy. So that's a huge advantage of having the genius, is just the knowing. Okay, you can also, if you know, you can also send frequencies to your client. So your client or your family member, once you know, you have a huge healing capacity as long as you have their permission, right? Your permission, you're in the capacity as their healer, as their therapist, whatever it is, you're instantly sending prayer, intention, for them to heal. And that is powerful. Like our ability to heal ourselves and to help others to heal is like so great beyond our capacity to imagine it. We're kind of leaning into it, rediscovering it during the times that we're living in. And so the genius is like your training wheels, or it's like an adjunct, like a partner, right? It's raising your level of awareness, also raising your intuition. It's making you more aware of your healing capacity for yourself and others. So when you're testing the teeth, you could test things like mouth microbiome, status of the gums, what infections are in there. And again, not a diagnosis, but a really, really cool way to muscle test. Okay. When you're thinking about biological dentistry in general, I can't believe, years ago when I was first discovering natural health, I remember sitting in a biological dentist chair, getting the exam, and the dentist just saying, well, your teeth are completely, connected through the meridians of the body to every other organ and part of your body. And I was like, what? This was in my 20s, but I was still just like, how come this isn't the first thing that we learn about health? How come this isn't in every anatomy and physiology? And so you need to take that into account. Your teeth, the imbalances of the teeth are connected to every meridian in the body. So if a tooth is out of alignment, it has a root, needs a root canal, it has a cavity, whatever it is, however the energy is imbalanced is affecting all the other organs, and the organs are affecting the teeth. It's all, reciprocal, related. The teeth are living organisms. They're connected. You have to think about the health of your whole body. Okay. If you're eating a very acidifying diet, it robs the minerals from the body. And so the part of the mineralization of the teeth can be affected. And a lot of tooth health is affected by your pH, by of course, the foods that you're putting into the mouth and are affecting the tooth microbiome as well. But get your body better, and that even think about it at the level of the circulation, right? So I've talked about before about how the endothelium is affected, about how circulation is the whole name of the game to anti-aging. And there's certain foods like even free oils that affect, as you take in the olive oil and the canola oil over the years, you increasingly reduce your ability to produce nitric oxide. Think of all the things that you know of that damage the vessels of the body. As you affect the circulation negatively, think that could even affect the circulation of your mouth. And as you improve circulation, right, everything in the body, the health of your brain, the health of your toes, the health of your liver, every single thing relates back to how healthy your circulation is. And so if you're really into becoming truly healthy, and I want to be the healthiest I can be, and I want to be the best I can be, you want to be like sort of, ripping through books going, how can I have the best circulation? How can I have the best circulation? That's going to help me. It helps everything, right? People want beauty. They want their skin to be healthy. Well, your circulation, the health of your endothelium is going to reach the skin. And it's going to be how healthy is your skin? How beautiful is your skin? How radiant is your skin? Is all about that circulation. Now, I love this chart. Really great. So if you can actually get a chart of the teeth, so you can see where these teeth are located in the mouth. You can just Google it. So if you know that you have a particular issue, right, with tooth number 6, one of the canines, then it may also be affecting your eyes. It may also be affecting your liver. It may also be affecting your gallbladder. This is an amazing chart to just take in and see how interconnected the body is, how interconnected our body is with the teeth. All right, so really we should be able to keep all of our teeth for life. The fact that we have so many, if you go to any city, and for the most part, and you call up the dentist, like how, can I get in to see my dentist? Oh, it's a week, it's 2 weeks, it's a month. These dentists are busy. Why are they busy? It is not natural for our teeth to be just like Swiss cheese, constantly losing, capacity, constantly losing mineralization, constantly getting cavities. So it is a product of the foods that we're eating, the things that we're putting in our mouth, dental hygiene, but the whole pH of the body is very, very significant to your overall diet, as well as what's hitting the teeth But the state of your body, the state of your microbiome is going to influence whether your teeth are being demineralized on a regular basis. Okay, so these are some of the things that you can do: getting lots of minerals, good digestion, healthy diet, and strengthening the jaw is a really good one too. Victoria Butenko used to have her Jawsizer, and it was this like sort of the silicone hard piece of sort of like a rubber piece that you would just chew on to strengthen the jaw. So chewing things like carrots and celery and things like that is really good for strengthening the jaw. That's really important for overall the health of your jaw, the health of the teeth, just the health of this whole area. Plus you're moving the muscles and strengthening the muscles. All right, so what we're going to do is we're not going to go through this whole thing. Just let me say just a couple more comments here. You can even test for which things would be best to use for your teeth. Here's a hint: it's not like Crest toothpaste. That's filled with all types of lovely chemicals and stannous fluoride. That's not what you want to be applying to your teeth. I think probably everybody on here, part of our tribe, kind of knows that. So you want to look for something that's fluoride free. And it's even been recommended that you go glycerin free. Now, there's differing opinions on this, but Nadine Artemis is a stickler. So if you read her book, just look up Nadine Artemis and her book on dentistry. She only has one, so it's easy to find. And we interviewed her on the Frequency of 528 podcast. So you can find that interview on Rumble. But also things like charcoal, chlorophyll, baking soda, tooth powders, using a tooth powder or something, a powder that's been made into sort of a pseudo paste without all the other chemicals. Keep it simple, minimalism. And Nadine Artemis, if you watch her YouTube video, she has a very, very good series on sort of a daily hygiene for your teeth. That's sort of a salt rinse and then some of these powders, essential oils. Very, very simple to keep the teeth, but you don't want these really grocery store, sort of supermarket toothpaste. Those things are not really helping your teeth. And so this is a great brand called Magic Mud, and they have some wonderful tooth products to just tickle you with a bamboo type of toothbrush and all types of really cool formulations that would be healthy for the teeth. Okay, I'm not going to go through all of this because I do want to get to testing. So we have an array of dental panels, and you could also, of course, test from the first part of the program. Often people come and they want to know, like, how do I treat a specific condition with the Genius? And we love to highlight all of our libraries and talk about the possibility of you creating a library. But please remember that when you go to your Genius, anything that you're doing on your Genius from System Overview is going to help you. It's going to be creating more of a state of order in your body. What you're really seeking is that state of order and balance, because everything else falls into place. Now, if you keep putting poison in your body, and we're going to be specifically telling you what that poison is, it's hard for the body to heal, just like if you're drinking alcohol or if you were smoking every day. So this is a big consideration. But beyond that, it's really about trying to get this body into balance, Any of the frequencies in that System Overview could help you to put that body into balance, to put it back into coherence. And so, ostensibly, you could heal any condition. We do have these really fun libraries for investigation, getting into the deeper details, to look at the teeth, to look at some other things related to the teeth, to look at remedies. And we're going to do that in just one moment. So let's actually go to that. We're going to bring Justina on. So Justina, be ready. And let's just go ahead and look at some of your questions while we bring up the Genius here in a moment. Okay, so let's see. One of my clients receives the frequency Black Widow Spider, and she asked me to say what it is. I think that's from somebody else's libraries. And the best thing would be to go ahead and ask that person who created those libraries. I don't know what the purpose of that would be. There are some spider remedies in homeopathy, so you could read about that as well. Is this like the AO scan, says Frey? Yeah, it is. It's a quantum biofeedback tool. The difference with the AO scan is that the AO scan requires a monthly payment for you to keep the lights on, so you have to keep paying for it forever. And with our Genius, you purchase it one time. You might be on an installment plan, so you have to pay the installments. Once those are done, then voila, it's all yours. You don't have to keep paying us to keep the lights on. And in fact, what we do is we give you every single update that we do. The other thing is, I think that we have a lot more training, make things a lot more available and understandable to people. And I guess the third thing is that, as I know, the AO scanner, they give you a device, which sounds like it would be a great thing, but what if your device breaks down? Or what if they make an update in the advance of particular devices? You probably know that devices are being updated all the time. There's iPhone 1, there's iPhone 10, there's iPhone 13, and there will be iPhone 20, down the road. So the nice thing about the Genius is all you need to do is log off of our software, log into your software anywhere that you want, on any iPhone, on any tablet, on any Android at any time. And I think that's nice because devices do break down and they do need to be updated. But thank you, Frey, for joining us. We really do welcome you, and you can come to class anytime that you wish. Regarding my report feature in the Android program, the energy and toxicity parts change as new frequencies are played. Oh, is that right? Okay, this is better, Pat, that's good. As I've always said, it's a little bit of my pet peeve is maybe don't bring these technical issues up in class. Of course, that's not meant to happen, but I do want to hear about it. But the very best thing that you could do is either put it as a report bug, or just go ahead and send me a message, Ariel at geniusbiofeedback.com. Of course, no, that's not supposed to happen. Okay. All right. Regarding teeth, what about the gums? I'm assuming this can only be used in person and not online with clients. Hey, Debbie, a warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining. Yes, it absolutely can be. We're going to do an online client in just one moment. We're going to bring Justina up here, and you'll be able to see that I'm going to record her voice and picture right here. It works remotely. That really helped people, like back in 2020. We had the issue of everything closing down. All of our Genius practitioners, their practice flourished because they were able to work with everybody from anywhere in the world. And it really, really helped. And then you can send these frequencies remotely, or you can send them to the client's phone in something called the Quantum Capsule, where they get to play the frequencies on their own phone or tablet anytime that they want. Lorraine says, I have 12 permanent teeth missing. They never grew. How will this affect my overall well-being? Well, the Genius will only add to, you still still an energetic person, so it's going to increase your energy. Can you spell Nadine's last name? Artemis. Yeah, Nadine Artemis. There you go, Frey. Thank you. Okay. Requested the essential oils list. Okay. Catherine, every time you come on, you tell us about that. Thank you very, very much for letting us know. I appreciate that. All right. All right. Fantastic. Debbie says, thank you. This is exciting. My business is a Tai Chi health coach, and so this is awesome. Occupational therapist. You will please download the trial. We'll show where you get the trial. If you haven't already, we're going to show that right now. And you'll be really happy. We have a no obligation 14-day trial where you don't have to sign up with a credit card, and you'll be delighted, and you can come to training as often as you would like to. And I think just doing the trial, we give you a lot of tutorials, and you'll just be really happy with just checking it out, seeing what it is to see if it's a good fit. You can also request a personal demonstration with one of our demonstrators. So we definitely warmly welcome you to do that. So we'll just go ahead and we'll put that link for the 14-day trial right there, so you can sign up for that. Okay. Thank you very much. If you have something that you'd like to take up with Ryan Williams, then I really warmly invite you to contact him. I don't own him. I don't tell him what to do, and I cannot make any difference in what you're pursuing there, Catherine. But thank you very much for letting us know each and every time that you come to class. So let's go ahead and get Justina, and we'll bring her up here. So Justina, we're going to give you the platform as a panelist here. So see if you can flip on your microphone and camera as soon as you're ready, and we're going to talk all about your dental issue. If you could avoid talking about other technologies and things like that just for this class, we do appreciate it, but we do want to know about your dental issue, what you've done, and what we can help you with. All right, so Justina, let's see if you're there. I have a feeling we may not be able to get you by camera, so that I'm just going to record your voice just so we can keep the pace going and keep the fun that we're having. Okay, I'm going to give you 1 moment here to unmute your microphone. If not, we're going to move on to the next volunteer. Okay, Justina,
Okay.
how are you?
I'm doing all kinds of things. I'm feeling all kinds of things.
Okay,
But,
well, let's go ahead and tell us, let's keep focused. So what's going
yes.
on with the teeth?
Well, the bottom 3 teeth, 19 through 21, were shaved off to put crowns on, but I never put the crowns on. So anyways, I started to have a lot of nerve feeling in the teeth, and then it seemed like there was an infection in there. So I went to the dentist, and she said, there probably is one in there. My tongue was swelling, the teeth area.
Okay, now let me just stop you for a moment. Now, I completely understand finances for crowns. They are very expensive.
Right.
Is that the main reason that you didn't get the crown?
No, it's tied into a boyfriend. It's tied it. There's a lot of emotional stuff with this because it was supposed to be put in and I couldn't get it in. I was in a relationship up in North Carolina. And so there were complications.
Okay, because a crown, I mean, I believe a lot in biological dentistry, and there's certain things that, we could talk about, but just, a crown is a covering to protect the tooth. All right, let's go ahead and record your voice. And I don't think we're able to get you on video, but let's go ahead and record your voice. So I will start recording, and you know how to do the recording. Say your name and the AEIOU. I'll start recording in 3, 2, 1. I'm recording.
AEIOU, Justine Sterling. AEIOU, AEIOU, AEIOU.
Very, very good. That's perfect. Excellent. Very good. I noticed that you sing your recording. Is that something that you do often?
Ah, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess because I was a singer.
Okay, well, we've got you on camera, so I just want you to know that. And we can get your we can get your picture and then swing you off camera. So if you don't want to be on camera, then we'll remove it.
I do want to. I just didn't know how to do that.
No, you're doing great. Where are you joining us from today?
From Tampa, Florida.
How's the weather there?
Overcast, kind of rainy, but
That's probably a relief because it is so hot during this time of year, huh?
Exactly. Right. Yes.
But you get to enjoy everything in the winter months.
Right. Definitely.
And the summer is just the what you pay for that ability to do that in the wintertime, to really have that joy of everything in Florida.
Yeah, but I actually see it differently than most people.
Okay. Yeah, all right. What I'm going to do, Justina, is there anything else that you would like to add to what I'm going to be looking into for the teeth at this moment?
Well, let's see. No, I just want, the meridians and all of that. And I have a surprise, which they told me today. I went to a second dentist and they said I don't have an infection. So that's a total surprise.
What was it?
It was not, she couldn't really tell me. She was an oral surgeon. But she said there's no infection. She took a certain kind of x-ray. The other dentist said, yeah, there's probably an abscess. And then there's no abscess. So it was on the back end of taking an antibiotic. I've tried for a couple of months, Dr. Ariel, to get rid of UTI with Manos and everything holistic, and I couldn't get rid of it. So then I finally went on an antibiotic, Macrobin, And then what happened was it could have caused reactions in there. I have no idea in this moment because I just went to the dentist before this Zoom.
All right, Justine, I have enough information. You're lovely, and I'm so grateful that you're joining us, and I'm so grateful you're
Thank you.
part of our genius community. I'll let
Yeah.
you know what I find here, and then we'll bring you back in just a little bit, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And anyone can volunteer. So if you want to volunteer for next week, let me know. We could work on you. We could work on somebody who's new to our community, somebody you bring, a friend that you bring. All bring your questions because your questions make the class, and I really greatly appreciate your questions. One thing I do want to point out is when you're hitting a technical glitch, is please go to the navigation bar, which is what I'm talking about is the bar at the upper right. It's 3 horizontal lines. Get a handy spotlight in here. Okay, so when you go here, you go right to, oh, can't do it when you do that. All right, let's try this again. All right, so we're gonna go right here. Let's move this over. Here, okay, there we go, okay. And then we go on the menu and we choose bug report. Bug report allows us to report anything. You guys, if you don't get a response to your bug report, you can bug me. So just go ahead and send me a message, Ariel at geniusbiofeedback.com. I do want to know if our team is not responding to that bug report. But basically, when you send me a bug report, all I can just say is you have my compassion, you have my support, and you can tell it to me. But even if you want to report it first and then tell it to me. There's nothing wrong with raising my level of awareness because I do want to know if it's becoming a system-wide issue. But the best thing to do first is report it so the team can look at it, start getting started on. The other thing that they get when you send them a report is they get all of the details about your device, like what model it is, what year it was built, what operating system you're on, and that helps a heck of a lot when we're trying to detect an issue. All right. So the other thing I wanted to mention is that you can go online and just Google the tooth chart, and that really helps you to understand which teeth the dentist is talking about and which teeth the genius is talking about when you're testing them. So if you look here, right, gives you all of these great views of the different teeth. So the ones that Justina was talking about are 19, 20, and 21. So on this left side, see how it says lower left, and it's kind of switched around. And so then okay, the front of my teeth, that's 24, 25. This really helps a lot, you guys. Especially you should take this tooth chart with you when you go to the dentist, and the dentist does the exam and says, oh, there's an issue on tooth number 13. You got to know where that is, because you want to know so you can better floss or, take the water flosser, whatever it is, and work on that tooth, and of course write it down for the genius. But you want to sort of physically kind of know where it is, just even for your own awareness. Okay, now let's go ahead and test the aura. That's how we always get started. Then we're going to look at some of the things that came up on the system overview for Justina, and then we'll look at the whole tooth analysis. I mean, what fun could you ever ask for in your day, but a day of looking together at a case, right? So much fun. Being able to have this technology is such a gift. I am so grateful for all of you in our community doing this, helping people each and every day. So thank you so much for all that you are doing. Okay. Wow. What a fabulous aura. Look at that bright, bright blue. Blue is a color associated with the 5th chakra, about speaking your truth, great communication. It's very bright. It's very vital. It has a nice clarity to it. Then we have all this beautiful green. The green is bright green, like a fluorescent green. It looks fantastic. That's good vital force. It's clarity. It's connected with your heart. Justina, you are somebody who's very connected with your heart. You come from that heart space. I absolutely love it. Looks great. Even the rings look good. We got a little bit of fuzziness around here. So there's a little bit of gray that we'd like to see this clear. This is what you usually see in a beginning aura. You see this kind of maybe a little bit of a grayish, a little bit of a blurry, and usually that becomes crisper and clearer as we go through the testing the person and sending energy to them. Now that's interesting that there's kind of, this is almost like a brownish energy, and it kind of reminds me of the first chakra. So it's like a first chakra imbalance. That's about what survival and place, all these things, home, stability, things like that. So we're going to see if perhaps this does begin to change. Now, Justina, if you have a Quanta capsule registered, put the email for your quantum capsule into the chat. And what we can do is we can start sending you things like your aura. We can start sending you things like your frequencies, all of this fun stuff. So see if you can find that email. If it's not, if you don't have one, that's okay. Now, typically we go through what's called basic process number 1. For today, let's do something a little bit different. Let's just explore the red and blue items and talk about them. So in the reds and blues and system overview, we're seeing electrical sensitivities. Oh boy, you guys, I mean, there's a lot of EMF stuff going on. It definitely is good if you have to live in a city. Maybe you have a place as like a second place or a retreat or somewhere that you can get to, or maybe you just go to nature on a regular basis. Get out of all of the EMFs when you can. You can even run the Genius offline. So you can turn the Genius off, Wi-Fi and so forth, and you can use it in offline mode. We have you hook back up in online mode once a day, once a week to make sure everything is backed up to the cloud. You know, and it's interesting about electrical appliances because they are trying to get you to use more smart appliances. I want to use dumb appliances, okay? They want all of these appliances, new appliances, to be hooked up by Bluetooth, by wireless, so we can monitor how much you use your refrigerator, how much you use your dishwasher, fun stuff. And so all of those things will be sending a signal within your home. So that electrical appliances. Also, when I've measured EMF on certain electrical appliances like your stove, usually it's the electronics board that a lot of EMFs are coming from when you read it on a meter, but you only use those for a few moments. So I think this is more like if you live in an apartment or a condo, it could be everybody's smart appliances because they could all be sending a signal about how much usage there is. Then we've got metallic implants. It's, you know, it's hard to say if you don't have a metallic implant what that really is. Some people have pins, titanium. Some people literally have implants in their teeth, right? And then computer monitors, so obvious, you know, there could be EMF coming off. It's good to take a break. Of course,
Yeah.
we're here for this right
Oh,
now. Go
I have a
ahead,
question.
Justina.
I'm sorry. Yes,
Well,
I have.
do want you to, it's better if you can wait till the end, but since
Oh, okay.
since you popped in, go right ahead. But then if you can just wait till the end and then I'll answer all of your
Okay.
questions. Yeah.
All right, sure. Just because you talked about titanium, last year I was carrying boxes up a staircase and I fell because I was, you know, thinking of breaking up with my boyfriend. Anyways, it was all combined. And so they had to operate and they said they had to put the titanium on. I was really upset with that because, you know, that's the only place I have this metal thing in my wrist. And it does show up when I do a reading, when I do a scan. So, you know, I don't know how to deal with something in me that.
Okay, I'm going to mute you, but let me talk about that. I'm glad you piped in. And
Okay.
you can always put things in the chat, but I'm just sort of in a flow while I'm doing the analysis. So
Okay. No,
let
sorry.
me just go
Okay.
all the way through. You're totally
All right.
fine. And I'll talk
All right.
about that.
No
But I'm
problem.
glad you piped up and let me know. All right. Thank you, Justina. That's really cool. So that's good. And it's good to know that it was true. You know, it's coming up and you can see it in the scan. Like that's really great verification. So I really appreciate it. And the thing is that once you notice something like that, you can change it because you can harmonize your relationship to it. Of course, it's always there, but there's so much more that we can do. Like we're not just stuck with things. Like the universe is more malleable than that. It's more pliable. So even if you have it, you can instantly go into an intention of improving your harmony with it. Now, your relationship with your boyfriend might be broken up, might be over, but come up several times. So we know that that is an integral part of your whole experience. And so it's definitely something to consider. The relationship. We have relationship libraries. We have one called Bliss of Union. We have one called Relationship Happiness. And in there is some good different libraries for just, even though it's over, sort of healing the residue that's left within you. So the next one that comes in, you're really magnetizing something wonderful because it's, you know, and it's something about being a great biofeedback practitioner is being such a good listener and just noticing everything that's in the field. So whatever your client mentions, especially if they mention something 1, 2, or 3 times, you want to really take that in because they're telling you it's part of the case, even though they're just thinking that they're mentioning it in casual conversation. So it's really great. You're bringing up all these great things to talk about. Then we've got glands. So we've got the thymus, adrenal, pituitary, and we've got hypothalamus. And so something that Nadine Artemis brought up was that that you have this certain system in your tooth. And what the system does is it kind of pushes everything out. It keeps you like pushing toxins, and it keeps the tooth is strong. It's kind of got this like charge on it that pushes everything out and keeps the tooth healthy. But when your hypothalamus shifts in a certain way or becomes stressed, and this is from Nadine Artemis from her book, she actually says it switches it switches energetically, and the tooth becomes more sort of drinking things in. And so as it's drinking things in, it's likely to become more infected, more toxic. And it's really interesting what she says, but it's fascinating that the hypothalamus is checking as out, just as considering it in relationship to the teeth. Okay, so then we've got some herbs here, and what we do is we sort of take a cursory look at sort of some of the nature of the herbs. And what I see here, and all the herbs are defined in our mastery guide. We've given free handouts to guides to the herbs, probably available at geniusbiofeedback.com. Look up the Learning Intensive under the Learn menu. You can see a lot of free guides there. And so we've got shilajit and Korean ginseng and Chinese licorice root. A lot of those are adaptogens. So we may be a little bit adrenally low, and I think adrenal just came up on that other one. Well, herbs are really resonating with you. Holy basil, Siberian ginseng, dandelion, rhodiola, again, cordyceps. A lot of these are adaptogens. So we may be in a position of trying to put some reserves back into our tank where we're a little bit burnt out. So one thing you can do right here, especially if you see a lot of these reds and blues, is you can just set your timer for the quick balance to 1 minute. And you could just stop right here and just do a quick balance for a minute. It's going to bring in all of those juicy reds and blues. We got a lot of herbs that kind of want to jump in and get in on the act. And now you can instantly just, halt there and balance for 1 minute, because you're getting the sort of the cumulative energy of all of those herbs and the reds and the blues in this herbal panel. All right. Okay, so there's no monthly fee for the Genius. You just choose one of the packages available at geniusbiofeedback.com. Once you choose a package, depending on how many additional frequencies that you want and some accessories that you may want, then you own it. You can always upgrade to a higher package at any time for the difference in the packages. You're welcome to do that. So you can start at a lower package. We just want you to be, part of our community at the level it feels good for you, get you using the technology. Once you own it, you receive every upgrade. After that, so when we put out, 15.2, 15.3, you continue to get that. You don't have to pay us any additional funds, and there's no monthly fee. Okay, wow, so you responded really positive to that, Justina. I love it. We can still put all the reds and all the blues into the tray. And oh gosh, golly, I wish that Entangled Insights was not so sensitive like that. But let's go ahead and we'll just put our reds and our blues into the tray. Fantastic. And now we're just going to continue to go down our system overview quickly. We see we've got some sensitivities today, stress minerals. Now, minerals is very interesting because, like I said, depending on your diet, if you eat a regular Western standard American diet, it's ridiculously high in protein, nothing that you ever needed, but we're convinced that you needed. No diet can be deficient in protein. It's not possible if you're eating enough calories to survive. The food itself, especially whole foods, have all the protein that is needed, but you're given this constant encouragement to overeat protein in order to sell certain products, certain food products, certain foods. I'm sure you know what they are. And so that really poisons your body. As your body becomes more poisoned, more acidic, it actually leaches minerals because the body tries to maintain an alkaline or homeostatic pH at 7.0. So you just leach minerals from your bones and from your teeth. And we wonder why we have this epidemic of osteoporosis. It really comes from the Western diet, the rich diet, the really super high protein diet, which also stresses out the kidneys. But the funny thing is, once we have osteoporosis, then we have another medicine that we can give, right? So we kind of like cause the problem, but then solve the problem, which is kind of hilarious if it wasn't so tragic. So let's get some sacred geometry. So this is another way to do your sessions, is you can just go right down the reds and blues and put all the reds and blues from the different libraries or panels into your tray here. And brain anatomy is coming up. So we'll go ahead and put those in. Now I want to make sure that we have plenty of time to get to the teeth libraries. So let's just go ahead. Now this shouldn't need to be tested twice. This is a good bug to report. because we already analyzed these. And this is, I don't know if you guys are seeing this or if it's been cleared with the most recent update. Actually, you could let me know that in the chat, even though I usually don't ask for technical issues. Have you noticed that you need to scan this again after exiting? Let me know. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and start putting in dental. So we have the dental assessment panels, but we have this different set of panels called the biological dentistry panel. So let's look at those. We have the dental anatomy. So I believe this comes with the course. So if you go to the biological dentistry course, at least for today, for sure, we'll give you these libraries included with the course. Okay. The reason I'm saying that is I started out with a dental assessment, which is a good set of libraries, but then I really built into the biological dentistry with those 8 libraries and the course together, so you could really understand the principles behind this from my naturopathic perspective and then start to utilize them once you have the knowledge. So this tells us we've got the molars, the jawbone, the root canal area, tooth 13, tooth 11, tooth 14. Now we might not see the teeth specifically that she talked about. In fact, tooth 19 is showing green. It's hard to always say that we're going to get exactly, the tooth, but we see tooth 21, 19, 20, and 21. So the 21 is showing a very low energy. So what I would do, and it also takes into account the pulp, the enamel, the premolars, groups of teeth. So let's go ahead and let's put these into the tray, as well as the really high ones as well. Let's go to mineralization, and it gives us hints for things that we can use for mineralization. Now, a really inexpensive way to help your teeth is cell salts. So look up cell salts, and they have wonderful uses for other things. They're the components of our blood: calc fluor, calc sulf. And when you utilize them, the way that they're created, they may be an effective way to positively impact the teeth, especially calc fluor and calc phos. So read about these different cell salts. All right, and so we've got cell salt bioplasma, which is a combination of all of the cell salts. So we've got mineralization. And then how balanced is the endocrine system? You can see that pituitary balance, the hypothalamus, the pituitary keeps coming up. And so meditation, different yoga postures, walking on the beach, all those things can help because we need to bring that brain back into balance. Mineralization of teeth supported by the body, look at that as a 10. So there's something in the diet, whether it's toxicity or the diet itself being too high in protein, whatever it might be, that is causing the mineralization of the teeth supported by the body. When you see the positive statement and you see it in a red or blue, then it is actually telling you the exact opposite, that the mineralization of the teeth is not being supported by the body. All right, so let's go ahead back here. Number 4, practices and affirmations. It gives you some really cool suggestions, salt water rinse, some affirmations. My body is supporting my teeth and gums, and my tooth and gum health support my body. It gives you cardamom. My teeth are growing stronger each and every day. Another affirmation. Clove is a great one for the teeth and the mouth because of its anti-pathogenic, antibacterial effects. Gives you a toothpaste, the My Magic Silver Charcoal toothpaste. That is so cool because it uses colloidal silver for any infections, and also uses charcoal, which is a great cleanser, gentle cleanser for the teeth, helps to absorb any toxins. Neem oil, neem was classically used, right, by indigenous people for the teeth, the neem bark, I'm assuming for centuries. CBD, I am worthy of excellent tooth health. And then a few other things, let's add them all to the tray. Because everything is a combination, right? Everything is the affirmations, the emotions, all of the remedies, all of the physical aspects. We are mind, body, and spirit. And what's really cool is that with the Genius, easily you can test mind, body, spirit and put all those frequencies into the tray because we are that holistic person. And then this one is for root canal harmonizing, because the same thing, like some people, there's so many bad, terrible horror stories online about root canals. But if you get your body and especially your gut into better health, you can have the root canal monitored. That's really a very gray area. when you first learn about the hazards of root canal, the first thing you want to do is, well, I want to have the tooth extracted and I don't want to have a root canal. Well, getting the tooth extracted is hugely traumatic, emotionally, physically, to the mouth itself. And having a bone, the natural tooth, the bone of the tooth, that's very, very good for your overall health. So the best you can do, I think, is find out, if you really do need one, if you can find a biological dentist that can actually do it. There are healthier ways to do it. And then you can monitor it through CT and other imaging over time, try to keep it healthy as long as possible. The more your gut and your body is healthy, the more you would be able to maintain the health of something like a root canal for a longer amount of time. The internet and social media is very polarizing, and the whole equation becomes binary or black or white. Root canal is good, root canal is terrible, and then you get scared and you start thinking black or white yourself. But when it comes to you in that dentist chair getting your tooth pulled, there's no day that's good for that. And the more you can preserve your teeth, the better. Infection clearing and gum health. This gives you all infections that could be in there. And then it gives you different herbal remedies that you could use to clear them. So let's go ahead and put those reds and blues in there as well. Golden seal, Oregon grapefruit. So both of those herbs have berberine in them. So it's looking like whether it's for an overall infection in your body or it's for the teeth, for some reason that is being drawn to you. And when you're reading these scans, you really want to look at what are those really low numbers. When I see a 1, that it's the opposite. So you have to read it in the opposite. When you see golden seal at a 1, that is a very high affinity of that person's being for golden seal. What does golden seal do? It has an incredible antimicrobial, which is in the golden seal. Golden seal is incredible for helping with infections and helping really to boost the immune system. And then Oregon grapefruit contains almost the same constituents. Oregon grapefruit became more popular over the years because so many people turned to golden seal that it just shot the price up. They couldn't grow it fast enough. So Oregon grapefruit is a great alternative. And echinacea, it's sort of, they go hand in hand. They work really synergistically. So there probably is some type of subclinical infection either in the teeth or in the body. We can't say for sure, but learn how to read the scans as a whole. That's when you become a really skillful and wonderful practitioner. Okay, then we have number 7, procedure recovery. So what types of procedures or remedies might be helpful? So you can see how comprehensive the series is. In the course, we tell you how to use these. That's why the course is so cool. And you also get the library, so it's very practical. And number 8 is stem cells. And so this tells you about the possibility. Now, of course, that is something that's even been talked about in really 3-dimensional dentistry, that stem cells may be on the horizon where you can actually regrow tooth or somehow repair the tooth. And of course, that would be very helpful. But how about if we use it energetically? It's nice and clean, doesn't have any side effects, and very inexpensive since you already own your genius. Now let's go ahead and we'll go into progressive insights and let's see what comes up at the very, very top. And I am going to add something in just a moment that we want to get in every scan that we do. All right, so gives us some sacred geometry and gives us some tooth number 15 is coming up at the highest. Let me do something a little different here. I know we're a little short for time, but I did want to add in the flower essences. That's really important because there is a big emotional component going on here. And let's go ahead and see if we can add in something from the relationship library. So let's go ahead and get our flower essences in. We're going to go back to our custom libraries, which I hope we don't have to scan again. For some reason, we had to scan them twice. Okay, so now let's go to relationship happiness. I think there's something in here. Frequencies, affirmations. Let's see if affirmations helps. Building a healthy relationship is worth the effort. And let's see if there's anything helpful that from maybe the past one. Honest communication. I love myself totally so I can give love to others. Okay, let's go ahead and just add them in. Let's see if there's anything else in here that's helpful that might help from the past. We should think about that one. Past healing of relationships. And let's see if it's in Bliss of Union. We have one about relationships called the Bliss of Union. Personal clearing, clear childhood wounds, manifestation, union, and harmony. Let's look at that number 3. I'm able to accept love in my life, experiencing respect within myself. That seems to keep coming up. And attracting that with a love. Having a healthy and loving relationship is just a normal part of life. I easily magnetize a person that matches my values. Honest communication is one of my natural strengths. Let me put this in here. I release fear around a lasting love in my life. Building a healthy relationship is worth any and all effort. That seems to keep coming up again too. Let's see if any of these rise to the highest level here as we percolate. What are the highest frequencies right now Justina needs to know about? A biofilm chelator. You can find that at the website biobotanicals.com, and those biocidin products that they have are pretty good for that purpose. So biofilm is classic in the teeth. That's one of the main places people can get a biofilm, and the biofilm is sort of this sort of mass, sticky mass of plaque and so forth that covers up the infective agent and kind of hides it from the immune system. It's kind of a classic place to have a biofilm, but you can have them in other parts of the body. Then that hypothalamus that we talked about, tooth number 11, which is right here. And so she may not know that that tooth is an issue. It just could be something energetically that's off with the tooth. But then you could go to the meridian chart, right? And you could see which organ that this tooth is connected to. So let's just go ahead and see. Honest communication is one of my natural strengths. Calcium, part of the brain. Tooth number 15, which came up before. That's interesting. Tooth number 15, which is on the upper left over here. And let's see, tooth number 10 over here. And some other things, calc floor, you get the idea. So let's go ahead and we'll balance that. Okay, now we'll bring Justina back to hear anything that she has to say. So Justina, let's go ahead and bring you back here and hear your feedback or questions or ideas. So you can jump right in. Oh, you have to unmute yourself there.
Okay, here I am. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right. So I definitely feel a lot better after the scan. I'm feeling much more energy in the head area and the mouth. And, everything was spot on as far as, the things that you were saying. I have a question about if golden seal is one of the top healers in terms of an herb, can you put it like with manuka or honey and rub it in your gums, do you think?
Yeah, so absolutely. I mean, I don't know if I would use manuka honey for that purpose.
Yeah, because
I
it's
get
so
it that
bitter.
manuka honey is really great for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Okay, here's that series. I'm going to put it into the chat. We'll show it in just a moment. It comes with all of these libraries. So the libraries come with the course.
Okay.
We're just going to put it into the chat here. But what other ideas did you have? What were the other, okay, so you're trying to find a way to apply the golden seal?
Yeah, but that's just a minor thing. I really love this. I mean, the more I learn about the genius, the more amazing it is. And, because I've done biofeedback professionally in the past, I'm not doing it right now yet. This program is got to be the best. Absolutely. Because you can pull in so many other things from other categories that I couldn't with the system that I was on before. It was a hardware system. So, yeah.
We hear that a lot from people, that really appreciate being able to utilize the genius, that they use big box systems, but this is like way more convenient. You're able to get to the answers more easily. And so, I really appreciate that. And we haven't had an opportunity to talk or really connect in this personal way. So it's so fun to get to work with you. Like, I'm so glad that you asked to be worked on today.
Yeah, I have a tendency to be shy, Dr. Ariel. So that's been part of it. And I really need to, at some point, to join the business group because I have a hard time of putting everything into practice now. Having my own business is one of the most difficult things in the world. I've always worked for a doctor or for a company. So that's my goal for by December to do that.
Oh yeah, join the business membership and you get free private coaching as well as part of included in your business membership. So we get to talk, about your business directly, about what things might be blocking you. But sometimes it's just as easy as just putting yourself out there, and we talk about how to get started. And sometimes you're even just accepting like a donation in the beginning. However, we can help you to get started. We've seen
Right.
many people are very shy to get started, but once they get rolling, they're really surprised at the success that they can have.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, I'm just going to do this every day until it's an incentive, and the universe and God has certain reasons. There's a reason for all this, and it just brings me more deeper into utilizing the love and the understanding that I have, like even right now with the genius, and how profound it is in helping myself. And I know how it helps others because I worked in a clinic using something similar. So, I've seen people who are going blind be able to see again and all kinds of things. So it is remarkable. I'm so overwhelmed. I have to move also. I've got a lot of issues before I can, you know,
I totally understand. Well, let me let you go here because we're a little bit over time, but I'm so grateful that
okay.
you joined us today. I'm sending you lots of blessings and light and appreciation. Thank you so, so
Thank
much.
you. And thank you for all that you do. I appreciate you very much.
That's very sweet of Justina to say that. But I really appreciate you for being courageous enough to share what you're going through. And let's look at that before and after. Very, very interesting that heart space really cleared out a lot. And no wonder you're feeling better and you're feeling more energy. Something that was blocked really, really cleared there. And everything kind of moved to the edges. What's so interesting is I don't know if you can see this on screen, but that big, like sort of that brownish red piece with the first chakra kind of moved, it's just very thin right now. You can really see the progress in it. And that was just with a very short balancing, 1 or 2 minutes. And we've got this beautiful purple here, and we've got this red on the edge. And so it could be that physical issue is being moved out to the periphery. And really, for her, the key is getting centered in her heart. And you can really see how powerful that is for her to do that. And that's your healing secret right there. That's your magic. That's your magic right there. Let's just do one more while we're just sort of talking at the end here. And so each and every week we have this training. We are available at this time on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 o'clock Eastern, and then it also goes live to YouTube. So if you go to Ariel Policano on YouTube and you hit the live button, you can see everything that we've done live, all the past trainings. We also post them to our blog, geniusbiofeedback.com. On the Learn menu, you can see our blog. So black cherry juice came up. That's interesting. And all of those relationship things coming up, very, very fascinating. And let's see what we've got here. So if we go to geniusbiofeedback.com, we go to our Learn menu, you can see a lot of our past trainings on our blog. Also, we have something called our Learning Intensive. It's really under our mini course. What I did is I did 3 classes over 3 days, and we just give all the training away for free in this class. It's a lot of it is like, what is the genius? How do you get started? What are some hints about balancing? So if you want like a free basics course, check out this. We took a lot of time to sort of do all the slides. So the slides are really explain everything that you do. So check out the Learning Intensive. If sometimes you're talking to your clients or friends and you don't know how to talk about the genius, then at least watch number 1. So Learning Intensive Day 1 talks all about what the genius is, how it works. And then if you enjoyed that, you may want to watch the other 2 videos as well. But we give that away for free. For anybody can watch it now, whether they own the genius, but it's a great refresher if you do own the genius in order to get back to basics. And there's a lot that we have under that Learn menu. We also have Learn the Quantum Capsule. So if you need like a primer on learning that quantum capsule, so the Learn menu, the quantum capsule, the remedy plate, the genius software, all types of things on this menu. Try to make it, as usable, user-friendly as possible. All right, let's see. all the things that came up here, a lot of brain stuff. Isn't that interesting? And a lot of relationship stuff. So I just, in this final sort of moments here, just want to point out that, again, when we tested her for the teeth, but we included the relationship frequencies, the relationship frequencies percolated all the way to the top, revealing their importance to the case. And so you need to not just balance the teeth, not just balance the physical, not just balance the gut. You know, you have to include, like, okay, there's in the background, right? Noise is this relationship thing. And so how about if we address it, and then the whole body, the whole being is going to be included. This could take a really long time to sort out in regular sort of talk therapy, sort of even just trying to figure it out. But in the Genius, you can address it in a minute. I think that's why the balancing are so powerful, because you can put all of those highs and lows from all of those different areas, and then you're balancing them at one time. You know, it's no surprise that in a few minutes you get a powerful effect. Okay, we're working on a research study right now, and oh, that's interesting. It went into sort of, I was worried, it went into like a dark mode, but you know, goes into that. We're going to see if we can lighten, brighten this up at the moment. But yeah, sometimes when you're going through this, like, especially I keep mentioning the relationship thing, you can go into a peak and a valley. And so it isn't always light and bright. She just went into sort of more of the goo and the mud. And if you want to end a session, you can actually take up all of these frequencies by putting the red, yellow, green, blue, completely up to you. If you want to remove 432 from here, it's not actually a solfeggio, but it's completely up to you. You could leave it in there. And so let's go ahead and balance all of this just for 1 minute. Oh, make sure you're muted there, Justina.
I just have one little question. As far as the aura and the chakras, so if you're dealing with relationship issues, running the second chakra or the fourth chakra, or both, I guess. So you'd run those two chakras also a lot for the relationship stuff.
You definitely could. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and then for the money issue, the brown on the first chakra. So running the first chakra a lot, clearing it, or that would probably help. All
Yeah,
right,
that's a great idea. No, I like your ideas. Thank you. All right. So yes, research studies. We're actually in the middle of a research study right now. So people are working on our 8-week research project. Thanks to everybody who's doing that. But Debbie, if you contact me, we'll tell you about the pilot study that we've done, and also the other questionnaire study that one of our practitioners did for her dissertation with Quantum University. So just shoot me a message and we can get you set up with all of that juicy information. Let's see if that caused a change in our aura as we completely wrap up here for the day. Does this clear negative energy? It sure does. And you can look at the spiritual protection if you want to specifically sort of address some of those issues. Sarah says, I haven't received my Quanta capsule. What should I do? So Sarah, I'm not sure if somebody sent you a Quanta capsule, if you expected a Quanta capsule from me, if you just ordered one. The best thing to do is to contact me at Ariel at Genius Biofeedback so we can check all of that out. Well, it's interesting that she was talking all about first chakra, first chakra, first chakra, and it came right in the center there, but it is still kind of on the lower energy. So I think we're actually moving through quite a bit. I'm going to continue to balance for you, Justina, and I bet we're going to end on a really good note, because I usually try to wait till I get a nice bright aura, but she's moving through some deep stuff. So drink a lot of water today, my dear. Thank you to everybody who participated today. We'll be back next week, 9 a.m. Tuesdays. Make sure you mark your calendar. Share that new time with your friends, and 12 o'clock Eastern, and we'll